And one of the things I've been lecturing to my audiences about, this has been quite fun. That's the wrong word. It's been extremely engaging and interesting to do this, because I've talked to about 250,000 people in the last 10 months, and I've walked them through some of the arguments that I've laid out with you today. But one of the things I've also pointed out to them is, let's say, how do you derive an aim? Now, it's a deep question because you are an aiming creature. It's not merely a secondary consequence of your thinking. In fact, your thinking is actually dependent on your aim rather than the other way around. They interact, but the aim is much more fundamental than the thinking. And so you are an aiming creature. And so then the question might be, well, what should you aim at? And how do you learn that? And part of the answer is, well, you also are possessed of the inclination to admire. So then you think, okay, well, what people do you admire spontaneously? Because admiration is something that grips you, right? It's not like you sit down at home and think one night, well, I'm going to admire so-and-so. It's like it's something that happens to you, right? It's something that grips you. And I think you can make a very strong and rapid case that you at least admire people who are capable of taking care of themselves, right? Who aren't an unnecessarily undue burden on others. Minimal precondition for admirable being. Then you might say, no, well, you actually want a little bit more than that from someone that you admire. You might want them to be able to take care of themselves well enough so that they have a little bit of extra vitality left over, so they might be able to care reasonably for someone else. That might be their family, it might be people in genuine need. You think, well, that's admirable. A good father's admirable, a good mother's admirable, a sibling who takes care of younger siblings is admirable. Someone who does work in the community that seems productive is admirable. And so there's an ethic there. There's an ethic of value that calls to us intrinsically and in a meaningful manner. And it's an indication. This is another reason why I'm so violently, let's say, intellectually opposed to the postmodern types,